every brother that's caught in the crossfire.
It, Chapter 2 is directed by Andy Muschietti and stars James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain as Bill Denborough and Beverly Marsh, and also Pennywise the Dancing Clown himself, Bill Skarsgård. The Loser Club once again comes back to Derry to defeat the evil clown known as Pennywise, who came back after 27 years after their encounter as kids. And now, as adults, they're ready to take on the clown again and hopefully save Derry. I have been excited for this film since the very first movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a huge surprise. It was one of my favorite movies of 2017. And Andy Muschietti surprised me as a horror director. I enjoyed his first film, Mama, but I didn't find it as memorable as the first It film. So I was really interested and excited to see what he's able to do with this film. And for the most part, the movie stays true to the faithfulness of the novel, friendship, and themes of friends sticking close together. And with that, you could accomplish anything while also fighting clowns and monsters in a haunted house. So, in that sense, I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. It was the exact same tone as the first movie, really funny when it needs to be, and just really creepy when it also wants to be. It's not going for that gigantic horror spectacle or all these big surprise terror moments that's going to make you grab your seats. Like the first movie, they're just creepy moments in a fun haunted house film, and here it's just much more emotionally impactful than the first movie. Mostly because they're adults. They don't remember much because the adults have now left Derry for such a long time that coming back and trying to regain all these memories triggers some emotional connection to each other and the town. And seeing that aspect of the movie flourish through the first and second act with our characters coming together and just meeting each other after all these years, it brought a huge smile to me. The cast is great. James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain are fantastic in the movie, and Bill Hader, my God, is he funny. His relationship with Eddie is one of the best parts of the film. I love how their relationship and friendship grew throughout the movie, how they always stuck closer. Their camaraderie is absolute gold. Mike Hamlin is also much more present this time around. He actually had more of a character arc, and I really just like what they did with his character overall. And Pennywise the Dancing Clown from Bill Skarsgård is absolutely amazing, terrifying. He is funny, and not in like a funny way. He's funny, but also unsettling at the same time, which is what you want from Pennywise. That balance of childish humor and terror. And I think Bill Skarsgård this time around did a much better job. Not that he was awful in the first movie by any means, he was great. But I feel like he was able to do so much more with this movie, especially in some of the big sequences in the final act, which is pretty big. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but a lot of feels were going through me throughout the final act of the movie. So, if I had to say my problems, it will be that even though I really do enjoy the first act and second act, I find the third act, while enjoyable, it tries to be so big. And I feel like while I understand why it's as big as it is, I don't think the third act sticks as well as that final act in the first It film. I felt like that final act in the first movie was much stronger, much better directed, and just much more in camera. And while I did have overall much more emotions going through during that third act, I feel like overall, as edited, filmed, and entire moment, I think I would prefer the first film's third act. But I think the biggest problem is probably the runtime. I think it is way too long. After thinking about the film, I do see some things I thought were boring, sort of necessary, but overall, I feel like there are some stuff that you could just cut out the movie, trim it shorter, and nothing much would change, and you would get the point. There's like a little scene with Bill and this boy that goes through the second act that leads to something, and while it does have a big impact on him, I feel like it didn't really need to be there overall. I just felt like the movie tried to do so much in its runtime that it sort of drags in a few places where it didn't really need to have something there. But I guess because the book is 1,000 pages long, it felt like it needed to do so much. And I don't know. I just think the movie's just way too long for its own good. Aside from that, I think this is an overall really satisfying ending to the It saga, or It duology. I felt like this movie had a much more emotional impact on me than the first. It is much better directed in my opinion. The cinematography is on point, but that length and runtime could have been shorter. The third act could have been less bloated, but overall, I would still suggest you guys go check out It Chapter 2, and I'm going to give it a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.
So heaven, if you sent us down, so we can build a playground for the sinners to play a